Now, there have been more claims of violent demonstrations in Nigeria. Thousands of people have taken to the streets daily across the country, calling for the disbandment of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad, or SARS. The demonstrations began 10 days ago. The unit was disbanded soon after, but people continue to protest. And Amnesty International says some have been assaulted. A journalist was beaten and her equipment destroyed, according to Amnesty International. To discuss tonight, we're joined by List.ng editor Chidi Okereke. Mr. Okereke, thank you for being with us. So it sounds like the violence continues on the streets. What are you seeing?
Hi, thanks for having me. Yes, the violence has continued, but this violence is from sponsored thugs and hoodlums. The protests, the people who are actually protesting, they've been very, very peaceful from the onset, and they've remained peaceful. But the violence has always come from the point of view of the government using law enforcement and then sponsored thugs. I mean, I'm not going to infer that thugs are sponsored by the government, but pointers are pointing to that fact. Earlier today, they attacked people in the state capital, people who were waiting to, protest in front of the Central Bank of Nigeria building. They attacked them as early as 4 a.m. Today, they burned some of their cars. Sometime earlier this evening, they burned some cars again in Abuja, which is the capital city of Nigeria. In Benin, some of the hoodlums allegedly went to rescue free prisoners from one of the state prisons, and these are all efforts to discredit the actual peaceful protest.
Yeah. So you're saying it's not police responsible for the majority of the violence; it's hoodlums infiltrating the demonstrations themselves.
Yeah, it is not actually. I mean, the police are doing their own parts. They've recorded a couple of deaths. People have been shot by the police. The police are doing their own parts in the violence. But then some other sponsored hoodlums are also doing their own part. And for today, majority of the attacks have been from these hoodlums. Yes.
Would you say most of the protesters are legitimate, well-meaning, there because they want a better democracy?
Yes. Most of the protesters are asking for the same thing. This unit of the police that has been responsible for brutalizing, extorting, harassing citizens, they want them scrapped. That's all most of the protesters have been asking for, and they've been doing it peacefully.
Can you explain simply for us why the demonstrations continue when the government says that this unit, SARS, the Special Policing Unit, has been disbanded?
This is because this is not the first time the federal government is saying they've been disbanded. They've said it 4 different times in the last 4 years, from 2017 till date. They've either disbanded them, or they've overhauled them, or they've done this, they've done that. So this time around, we don't want them to just tell us that they've done it. We want them to actually do it. And then we've listed 5 different things, and we're asking them to do it. They've not done any of them. As soon as they do those things, we're going to get off the streets.
Yeah. So do you believe that SARS members of the Special Policing Unit are still on the streets at the moment?
They have been reported, people have reported sighting them in different remote places of the country. I mean, Nigeria is a very big place. There are some areas that are not, covered by social media and everything. People have reported sightings, but I personally have not seen them since this ban was announced. I have not personally seen them, but people have confirmed that they have seen them. So that's really left for investigators to find out. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much for your time tonight, and we'll continue to follow what's happening in Nigeria. That was the editor of List.ng.